Hello, everybody. Welcome to Edrienia Extrasensory Elevation. And for those of you, if this is your first time to watch any of my videos, I warmly welcome you all to the channel. In this video, I'm sharing the story of my second near-death experience, NDE, which occurred during my naval officer training in Australia in the year 2000. At the time, I was part of the new entry officer course number 23, and they were given the acronym NEOC 23. And the training, it was held at the Royal Australian Naval College, HMS Creswell. Creswell is located on the southwestern shores of Chavez Bay, 180 kilometers south of Sydney. And HMS Creswell was the setting for an extraordinary and life-changing event. NEOC 23 began in July 2000, and our training took place at various locations in Australia. Just before my NDE, we had returned to Creswell after completing a sea development training, sailing from Australia to New Zealand in collaboration with the Royal New Zealand Navy. And it was Monday morning, shortly after our return on the weekend, that the unexpected event happened. Let me share with you the background leading to my NDE. To understand what caused my NDE, I need to go back a few years. My NDE was the result of a stomach ulcer that had silently developed over time. During my high school years in Tonga, I engaged in heavy drinking, home brews, methylated spirits, beer, and different kinds of alcohol, and even experimented with sniffing glue and doing some other stuff. Drinking on an empty stomach had caused long-term damage, leading to the development of a stomach ulcer that eventually ruptured. This underlying condition, which I didn't even know I had, came to a head that Monday morning. So what happened on the day? I woke up. I woke up feeling an upset stomach and made several unsuccessful trips to the toilet. Mondays at Creswell meant assembly at 0900 hours with the commanding officer and other officers. But I told a fellow trainee of mine I would stay behind and join later because of my discomfort. So as the other left, I stepped onto the balcony for a cigarette, and while smoking, I suddenly felt numbness creeping up from my toes to my legs and then throughout my body. A freezing sensation overtook me, and when the numbness reached my head, I just completely lost consciousness and collapsed face first onto the concrete floor. By divine intervention, a trainee who had forgotten his notebook returned to the building and found me lying motionless. This is a very interesting part of my story because I have done many reflections throughout the years, and I'm just amazed at how God, work in mysterious and different ways to save us. And for some reason, some odd reason, this guy had to forget his notebook in order just to come back, just to save me. And according to the doctor, he said that if it wasn't for this guy coming back, um, the possibility for me, just to go on completely was already there. And yeah, but this part, I'm really thankful for that. Anyway, this guy, when he found me just lying there, he immediately called for help. And the medical team stationed just across the road arrived quickly. So when they reached me, for some reason, I regained consciousness and insisted that I could walk. So we went to the medical center for a checkup. And shortly after arriving, I was struck by excruciating pain in my stomach, very strong pain in my stomach, unlike anything I'd ever felt. The pain was so intense that I began running around the room. So while I was having this pain, I also couldn't, I find it very hard to breathe also. So I was starting to running around the room uncontrollably, breaking the walls, furniture. And because of that, the medical staff had to restrain me and administer a painkiller to calm me down. But I eventually passed out again. And so after multiple tests, scans, and x-rays, the doctors at the medical center couldn't determine the exact problem. They couldn't find out what was wrong with me. So I was transferred to a hospital in Nara. Nara is a town, close by to Creswell, where they found air in my stomach, a sign of something, seriously wrong. Yet even there, the cause remained unclear, and I was transferred to another hospital for further examination. At the final hospital, a surgeon explained that exploratory surgery was the only way to diagnose and address the issue. He warned me that without the operation, my condition could be fatal. In immense pain and with little choice, I completely agreed to the surgery. Let's talk about the ND. During my surgery, I experienced my second ND. I found myself moving toward a brilliant white light, this big white shine light at the end of a tunnel. A light I later recognized as God's presence during a vision in 2013. So at the time, I couldn't understand what was the light, what was the light. But, 13 years later, God revealed to me that this light, it was God's presence. Anyway, as I moved closer, I entered a space of pure white, filled with an overwhelming sense of calm, peace, joy, and love. There were no sounds or voices, just a profound stillness and serenity, unlike anything I'd ever experienced. This space felt otherworldly, and I understood it to be the place many call heaven. This was heaven to me, feels like. The peace I felt there was incomparable to anything in this life, and the experience reaffirmed the divine interconnectedness of all things. So let's talk about the awakening. When I woke up after the surgery, the head surgeon was seated beside me along with other medical staff. And this is what he said. "You are awake. How do you feel?" I said. I replied that I was dizzy, but could hear him clearly. He continued saying, "We completed the surgery successfully. You had a hole in your stomach from a ruptured ulcer, which we have repaired. What amazes me is that you showed no prior symptoms, no pain, nothing, until it was almost too late. Cases like yours don't usually end well. I've never seen anything like it in my career. The only explanation I can think of is that God has a purpose for your life. So when you return to Tonga, I urge you to find out what that purpose is." The reflections and lessons. This NDE was a turning point in my life, solidifying my belief in a higher purpose and the importance of living intentionally. It taught me that life is fragile, yet filled with divine grace. So here are the lessons I want to share with you through Edrienia Extrasensory Elevation. Number one, divine purpose exists for everyone. Each of us has a reason for being here, even if it's not immediately clear. Number two, life is a gift. Cherish every moment and treat your body with respect. Our actions today affect our future. Three, trust in the divine. Even in our darkest moments, divine intervention can guide us and bring us back to light. And number four, gratitude for second chances. My survival was a miracle, and I am committed, including this journal, to fulfilling the purpose I was spared for. This experience is one of the foundational moments that inspired Edrienia Extrasensory Elevation. It's a reminder that spiritual awakening is not about seeking something external, but rather discovering the extraordinary within ourselves. Through Edrienia, I aim to help others connect with their purpose. I want to help people overcome challenges and embrace the divine light in their lives. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Subscribe, share this video, and let's walk this path of awakening together. Blessings and light, and see you in my next video.